Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 3 Under Par podcast. This is a golf podcast where
Little White Ball is live.
I'm your host, Scotty T, and I'm joined by KJ to my left and T-Bone on the far side. What's going on, boys? You doing
Living
right?
it.
Chilling.
Nice. T-Bone rocking the rope hat today.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
In honor of my boy Sungjae.
Sungjae Im comes away victorious at the Honda Classic. We're going to talk some Honda Classic on this episode. Some pretty good golf gossip as well. Stuff that came out today, as well as some stuff that came out on Sunday during the broadcast, which I was really excited to hear about because it just stirs the pot, man. And that's what we want in golf gossip, right? KJ, you're finally back in studio. How's it feel to be back in Houston?
Good. Solid.
Nice.
I know. I know I don't have a great track record with the new job, having me travel and everything, but I think we'll be all right.
Okay, so let's talk some 4-ball before we get going into the Honda. Before we do that, hello to everybody out there on YouTube, new subscribers, because the last episode was the Bogey Brothers, which was awesome. Great episode with those guys. T-Bone and I sat down, interviewed with them, Bogey Smalls and Two-Putt Shakur, which is just phenomenal names. Great guys to deal with.
That's awesome.
Yeah, right? If you have a chance, go watch the interview or listen to the interview. Check out their YouTube channel as well, because it's really creative what they do with the music, and they just have fun playing golf.
They kept talking about their nicknames, and I just said, yeah, I just wanted to be T-Bone. That's it. That's all I got.
Thanks for that input.
That. I remember it was like right before we started
Like, they have
recording
these badass nicknames that are very, like, pretty damn creative, and I'm just T-Bone.
Like, at this point, our names are pretty much already out there, but at first we're like, do we want to go by nicknames? Like, especially KJ teaching at the time. He's like, hey, not sure if I want my name associated with if I'm teaching junior golfers, which is totally understandable. And then KJ was just like, Kyle Johnson, KJ. I was like, Scott Terrell, Scotty T. And then T-Bone, he was just like, yeah, I want to go by T-Bone. Me and KJ are like,
out of right field, but it stuck.
Here we are.
It stuck. Here we are over a year later doing this podcast. Golf is in full swing now. Honda Classic, Bay Hill next week. The Players is 2 weeks from now. If that, like a week and a half, which is awesome. Masters right around the corner too. It's here, guys. Daylight savings is next week.
March 8th. March 8th is golf season.
He's got it.
March 8th.
Man. So, KJ, let's talk some South Texas 4-ball because you were out of town last week. I guess we talked about it a little bit. Has any, just rough across the board, but more to come.
Yeah, I hope we get to play some more of those events. That was a lot of fun.
I totally forgot that you called in last week. I was thinking about
yeah,
it.
Just like we said earlier, I haven't been able to play any of those tournaments, and it was fun to actually have, the format of, rules and regulations and all that kind of stuff.
Putting the ball out.
Yeah.
Instead of giving ourselves 5 feet by. Even though we low-key did that, where he'd be like say I was in for par, Kyle would have like a 20-foot birdie putt and be like, hey, Scott, is the next one good? Because we had our match that was going on. And I'll be like, yeah, sure, give it a run at it. And then there were a couple of times where I was like, man, I wish I wouldn't have given him that next putt.
I had some of those putts like further away from the hole than I already was.
Sure did. But it was a good time.
Yeah.
Good time. Hopefully more to follow. There was one of the ones that we had our eyeball on. Potential scheduling conflict. Mostly with me. We'll see. More to come. There's one on Lake Charles. I don't know if you saw that.
Okay.
Lake Charles. We can.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll go later. So follow us on social media at 3 Under Par Pod. That is number 3 Under Par Pod on Twitter and Instagram. If you like this, if you're watching on YouTube, click that subscribe button. Like this video as well. Comment below on what you thought of the Honda Classic this week as we discuss it. Tommy Fleetwood just lost. I have no other way to explain it but that Tommy Fleetwood just lost. Did y'all have a chance to watch much of the Honda Classic?
I did.
This weekend?
I would have figured that T-Bone was in heaven. Guy out in the leads wearing a rope hat, so I'm sure he already loved that. And then got to be one of his favorites, Fleetwood's out there in contention, who I thought was just going to at least, come in with that birdie on 17, hit a good shot, pretty much right over the flag, and then just pours it in. And bombs it down the middle on 18, and then just flares one out to the right. Like, that's the one place you can't miss. you can yank it dead left and still get up and down.
Right.
And go into a playoff. I thought for sure he was going to at least get it to that front bunker, get up and down.
Which I think
force a
Zinger did
playoff.
make a good comment. He was like, or it's either him or I forgot who it was, said that his natural ball flight is a draw. So when you need to hit a cut when you're sitting 240 out, sometimes you can start it a little further right and then the ball moves because you're not used to hitting that cut shot. So because I like to draw the ball, so whenever I do try to hit that cut, I do tend to start it a little further right than what I want, and then it moves sometimes even more than I try to. So, but I can't work the ball like I used to. Not like those guys. Those guys are phenomenal.
On 18, I think a few things that really screwed over Tommy was Brendan Steele's hitting right before him. And you want to talk about missing?
That was way out there.
And if you hear Paul Azinger before he's about to hit, he goes, "This is his favorite club in the bag. He practices this shot, this specific shot. Like, let's see what he's got." 30 yards into the water.
Kiss of death.
So, once you have that in your mind, you're kind of screwed over. And one thing people aren't talking about, I swear, I've watched the second shot into 18 twice now. Both times, just a major get in the hole, fan yelling in the middle of his backswing. And I absolutely hate that this conversation's going to go back to this point. And I'm very scared to where this podcast is going to go. But it reminds me of Patrick Reed. Because if Patrick Reed was in that situation, he would be raising hell, giving all these damn excuses. And if you look at Tommy, he's pissed off, but he's like, whatever, I hit a bad shot. And the first thing I thought of was like, how is he not mad? Like, if Patrick Reed was in this situation, he'd burn down the course, and then it would cause a big uproar in golf media, and here we are.
Yeah, the no laying up guys on Twitter were like, somebody yelled in the fan. It turns out somebody did yell, get in the hole, as Tommy was at the top of his backswing. He said he didn't hear it, didn't affect it, but...
See, Patrick would never in a million years say that.
That's true, and that's why we hate Patrick Reed, because he's like, oh, it totally messed with me and threw me off. Tommy's like, yeah, I just hit a bad shot.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's a tucked pin, lake on the right. That's a hard golf shot in general. As you mentioned, KJ, there's a lot of room on the left.
Yeah, the guy in the group before the Mackenzie
Hughes?
Yeah, he ripped it. He rope hooked it into the
dude,
the
shout out
cart
to
path
him.
and had a chance to...
He finished second.
Yeah.
To tie.
Yeah. He had a funny comment later. He's like, yeah, that's what happens when you double cross it sometime. Usually you got to pay for those kind of hookers, right, KJ?
Yeah, sometimes.
Which is, it's always an interesting debate, too, when somebody does hit a shot like that. It's 18, and that is a just god-awful golf shot that Mackenzie Hughes hit. But because of the grandstands, it's not near as penalized as it gets, because when he gets his free drop and all that stuff, he's sitting 77 yards out and has a perfect angle to that back tucked pin location, which if there are no grandstands over there, he's probably sitting 100 yards further left and way more penalized. I don't know. Just the grandstands rules kind of suck, but I get it.
Another thing about that whole tournament, or at least 18 on Sunday, the worst shot out of all of them was Sungjae. He dumped it 90 yards into the front of the bunker. With a one-shot lead, 90 yards, and just...
Yeah.
But you see his sand shot? He almost freaking holed it.
I know.
Like...
He made up for it, but when I saw the chunked wedge from 90 yards, I thought that was a way bigger choke job than blasting it into the water.
His tempo out of the sand. Okay, I'm not going to say I'm a good golfer, but I think the best part of my game is my sand game around the greens. When you go up there...
It's good.
When you go up there and so slow and then go after it, what usually happens?
Dumpy.
No, skull fucker 90 yards. Yeah. And all he was looking at behind him was water.
It's either one or the other.
Yeah. So the other one, you get up there and you slow down. That's when you get the dumpy, the decel. When you get up there and you get quick, like that's got to be the worst tempo when you're just staring at a lake behind the hole. And he just...
His golf swing looks like that too.
Yeah.
For you guys watching, it's literally like...
What was that, T-Bone? What was it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just scared the shit out of me. I thought he was going to try to play like a little dump and roll, but then he went after it. So
yeah, it was one of those moments where as soon as he duffed it. I was like, does anybody want to win this golf tournament? Like, it is the Honda Classic, played at PGA National in West Palm Beach, Florida. I don't know, it's somewhere down in Florida. Sounds good. One of the toughest golf courses, I would say, on the PGA Tour. Year in and year out, I would probably say Riviera, PGA National, maybe, not the Wyndham. What's the one that Max Homa won? Quail Hollow.
Yep.
Yeah, those are probably one of the three hardest golf courses, in my opinion. I'm sure there are others out there too. But the point is that you're not shooting 20 under. What did Sungjae Im win? It's 6 under?
6 under. How many
4
tournaments
days of
on the
golf?
tour you see that happen?
Exactly. So
Never.
the bear trap, I think the reason why Sungjae Im won that tournament is because he went 2 under on the bear trap coming down the stretch. That shot that he hit on 17, stones.
Yeah.
Stones. Even Mackenzie Hughes did that. He was like,
Yeah. He
takes big
thought he
balls to
flared
hit
it
that
too. You could kind of
Yeah.
tell in his body English. He was kind of leaning like that. Mm-hmm. Carried
Which-
by like what, 12 feet
yeah.
on that line?
But just nails, which is incredible. So Sungjae Im, what was he? Korn Ferry Player of the Year 2 years ago. PGA Tour Rookie of the Year last year. He's 21 years old right now. Great showing at the President's Cup as well. The guy he's not on many people's radar outside of the golf community or golf world, but I think he really should be. He lives and breathes golf. He doesn't even like own a home or an apartment or anything. Because he travels so much.
Plays
playing
almost
golf.
every week.
He plays every single week.
Yeah. He's Mr. Steady Eddie. We've talked about this before. He is consistently up there. If you want to put somebody top 25 all year, I don't see him missing many top 25s.
No, he's great. And I think it's also really good because, well, he's probably one of the first South Korean males that has the potential to be a number one player in the world type talent and type player because their women have dominated the women's golf game. The South Koreans had just dominated. Sorry to all the Americans out there, but they're crushing it.
Hey, easy there, Hank Haney.
No, look, these are facts.
He doesn't even know if we're talking about the good or the bad South Korea. Or Korea, so just don't let him get you here.
Not a geography guy.
Scaff,
Anyways,
which
continue.
one is the good one?
Don't put me on the spot like this. I'm going to go south.
That is correct. But yeah, I mean, really though, I mean, he is that good. He's 21 years old, winning at a course like the Honda. Great President's Cup showing. And every year he's getting better. Korn Ferry Player of the Year, PGA Tour Rookie of the Year. Now he's a winner on the PGA Tour. Things are just going to keep progressing. And look, I'm not saying he's going to win a major or anything this year, but in the next probably 3 years, sure, I don't see why not. He's every bit as talented as anybody out there, and I'm not going all in. I'm not pushing the chips all in on him yet. But if you're going to buy stock in a player that's really under the radar and it's probably at a low point, he's the guy to buy stock into.
Well, just from a 300 par pod perspective, it's got the rope hat, it's got the center shafted putter. That's
2 out of the 3.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, that's
What more do you
some good
want?
quality right there.
I'll sign off on it.
Yes. Is there anything else that really stuck out for y'all on the Honda? There's one other thing I wanted to bring up, but that's kind of more golf gossipy than anything. I mean, big congrats to Sungjae Im. It was interesting. Whenever I pulled up the leaderboard on Sunday, I didn't really have a chance to watch it until Sunday. It looked like the European invasion. The Euros were at the top of the leaderboard. Luke Donald, haven't seen him much out there anymore. Lee Westwood, obviously Tommy Fleetwood as well. And Tommy Fleetwood, he came out firing, man. You know, a couple birdies in the first few holes. I remember thinking he's got this in the bag. Sure enough, PGA National shows its teeth. It's just, and it's one of those slow bleed out effects. A lot of bogey here, bogey there, but then guys that come in front of you make a few birdies. Some other notables, Mackenzie Hughes, we touched on him, just coming out of nowhere for the tie second. Daniel Berger.
That's a name we hadn't said in a while.
He's been playing some pretty good golf though. Like he's had 3 top 10 finishes this year at the Waste Management and at I want to say Riviera, but I could be wrong. I don't think this will show me right now. Dang FedEx ad. You know, I really don't like the FedEx Cup playoff previews in March, but that's neither here nor there. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have that.
Another side note, poor Luke Donald getting announced on, I think, Sunday. Next on the tee, the 2016 Honda Classic champion, and he won in like 2014, and they said, Luke McDonald.
Got the year wrong and his name wrong.
Did they really?
Did everything but throw up during his introduction.
That's tough. That's tough. Yeah, I don't know what to say more about Luke Donald. People are always going to remember Luke Donald as former world number one, I feel like. I feel like that's going to be his legacy.
Probably the
And how
worst.
did he get there?
Probably the worst world number one of all time.
I didn't realize that Lee Westwood used to be world number one, too. We should do like a segment one time of former world number ones and where are they now?
Yeah.
Like Bernhard Langer was the first. I know that's actually a fun fact. He was the first ever world number one in the official World Golf Rankings when they came out. I think it was 1986, if I'm not mistaken. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go golf gossip. It involves the Honda Classic. Our man, Paul Azinger, low-key roasted Tommy Fleetwood on this. So, Tommy Fleetwood, what's y'all's opinion on Tommy Fleetwood, just in general? Because I was looking back. I actually picked him for the PGA Championship. I'm pretty proud of that one because it seems like he's starting to figure something out a little bit, even though he didn't win this week. But what's y'all's just opinions on Tommy Fleetwood starting off?
I know you got a little bit more on your boy Fleetwood, so I'll go ahead and just keep it quick here. I love the guy. One, little iffy on the flow.
Really?
Definitely. I mean, he's got a great flow. Is it great for golf? I don't know. Don't really care too much. But I think he's probably one of the most chill human beings I've ever seen on the golf course. I don't think I've ever seen him throw a club. Never seen him cuss. Really never shout or anything.
I've never seen him just get worked up or upset over anything.
The worst thing I've ever seen him do is take his hat off and just brush those goldish long locks. And that's pretty much it. So, I mean, it's hard to not like the guy, even if he's killing your USA Ryder Cup team.
Yeah.
Which he did.
Oh, no kidding. First ever person to go 5-0? No. That was Molinari. But the Mollywood team is just unstoppable.
I will say I think the hype for him is dying down quickly because he was the Ryder Cup hero, and then what are you shooting at U.S. Open?
He has a
63
at Shenanigans,
sounds right.
I believe.
When all that was kind of happening, I was like, this guy's the real deal. But now he can't win the Honda Classic. But overall, I love him. Big Tommy fan.
Yeah?
Yeah. So.
Tommy lad.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard not to like. Gotta love the flow.
Oh, my goodness. I just pulled up his Wikipedia page. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
He has.
Show the camera.
That is
For the camera out there, go look up Tommy Fleetwood on his Wikipedia page.
Okay, I want
He has short hair.
100% approve the flow now. Because
There you
that
go.
is not a good look.
So, Tommy Fleetwood has 8 professional wins. Interesting. He is currently 18th in the world. His highest world ranking has ever been is 9. I think he's a little bit better than that, in my opinion. Maybe so. That's interesting what you say about the Ryder Cup hype, because dude, at the Ryder Cup he was unstoppable. He couldn't be stopped. Played really well at the U.S. Open. The knock on him right now, though, is that he has not won a PGA Tour event. And Paul Azinger brought that up in the broadcast, and here's what he said. He said, these guys know you can win all you want on the European Tour, the international game and all that, but you have to win on the PGA Tour. They all know that, and I think Tommy knows that, and it puts a little pressure on Tommy. But this is where they want to be. They want to be here and prove that they can make it at this level. Shots at Tommy Fleetwood, shots at the European Tour as well. I don't know if that was necessarily intended, what Paul Azinger was saying there. But what are y'all thoughts on that, man? Because obviously we're biased. We are Americans here, so we'll preface that. But what you got, KJ?
Paul Azinger is like a low-key. Nobody will ever touch Johnny Miller's throwing shade at people. Like, Johnny Miller would mean something, process it, and still say it out loud over the broadcast, no matter how mean it sounded. Azinger, I think he has those thoughts, and he processes it, and he kind of, cloudies it to where it doesn't sound as bad. But he kind of low-key doesn't give a shit either. He kind of just calls it as he sees it. He's just not as brash as Johnny Miller.
He uses, or at least yesterday he used the exact same Johnny Miller line, which is he's like that shot was just pure nerves, and that was a classic Johnny Miller line. It's like
Yeah.
nerves. It's basically like
And he really choked there.
you choked, yeah.
Yeah, nobody ever says the C word, the choke
Yeah.
word. And Johnny Miller is really known for being probably one of the first people to say that,
Yeah.
I would say. But Ian Poulter, well, first off, to Paul Azinger's point, Tommy Fleetwood still didn't win this week. He hit the shot that he needed to hit when he needed to make birdie on 18, the clutch shot, he sliced it into the water. And now, I don't think still, though, I don't know how to phrase this. Tommy Fleetwood is a really, really, really good player. I'm surprised he hasn't won on the PGA Tour yet, but the way that he dominated the Ryder Cup and the way that he has competed at major championships in the past, there's no doubt about his talent, and that really it's only a matter of time, in my opinion, until he gets a win. So what are you telling me? Are you telling me, let's go last year's winner, Keith Mitchell won last year's event. You're telling me that Keith Mitchell isn't a more accomplished golfer than Tommy Fleetwood?
false.
I don't buy it. Yeah,
It's a matter of time. He's there. He's got all the tools.
Objectively, that logic doesn't hold up. But there's something to it. But I don't know. It's a double-edged coin where I probably disagree with Azinger more, but I see what he was saying, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Some of these guys, I think when they win for the first time, like Keith Mitchell, Lanto Griffin, those guys, it's almost like a freak out-of-body performance. When guys like Tony Finau and Fleetwood are more consistently better, and I think they
Tony
have...
Finau only has one PGA Tour.
Has he
too.
won?
He
I
has
didn't
only
think he'd won.
He won the Puerto Rico Open, so that was an off-week event because there's a WGC
Okay,
that week.
sure, if that counts.
So we'll give you a half of a win? No, we'll give it the full.
I think there's something about, like, when you're, like, a kind of a no-name and you win, it's almost an unconscious performance. When the guys that are there a little more consistently, maybe there's more pressure. You kind of know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like a one-and-done type thing, as opposed to guys there more consistently.
I hope not for Tony, but I think Fleetwood he's fine. As long as he doesn't let all that shit get in his head, like, and it pressure him that he's got to get his first win. I think that win will come to him.
I think it's same thing. Like, it's almost comparing the regular season to majors. Like, Danny Willett has won the Masters, and Rickie Fowler has not won a major. It's the same thing. He's always there. It's more pressure.
Well, Rickie Fowler won the Players.
That's true. Yeah, so
he does have one major under his belt.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I think it's a similar situation. When you're there more frequently and you haven't gotten there,
right.
it's a self-induced pressure. When a guy like Danny Willett just pulls a green jacket out of his ass.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ian Poulter chirped back at Paul Azinger. He said, "I like Azinger a lot and get along with him great. But Paul, please do not condescend or disrespect the European Tour and our players like that. We have slapped your arse in the Ryder Cup for so long. I know you have captain to win, but seriously, that was embarrassing today." To his point, Paul Azinger is a winning Ryder Cup captain. On the American side, that doesn't happen very often. So, but Ian Poulter, one of the greatest, probably Ryder Cup players maybe ever.
That's such a shame because I hate him so
And
much.
he sucks. He can barely win on the PGA Tour. But so, yeah, it's to your point, T-Bone, it's what's your measuring stick? What do you put the most value in? A guy like Colin Montgomery also dominated in the Ryder Cup. But people don't consider him one of the best players of all time either. So that's actually what you bring up earlier transitions me to a little bit. Well, first off, to put a bow on Paul Azinger, he responded back and said, "I wasn't trying to be malicious. I didn't mean to disrespect anybody, but professional golfers choke for two things, cash and prestige, and the PGA Tour has the most of both." So I understand that. Has the most
Before we
cash,
do
most prestige.
transition, I just got to touch on it again. Danny Willett won the Masters.
All right, let's move on.
Next.
So, hypothetical / question for y'all. Is Tommy Fleetwood the European version of Rickie Fowler?
That's a great question. I mean,
Yeah, shout out to my fiance on that one. She asked me that last night, and I was like, I don't know. Like, I got to bring that up on the pod. Is Tommy Fleetwood the European version of Rickie Fowler?
Not yet.
Rickie Fowler has 5 PGA Tour wins under his belt, including a Players' Championship. Tommy Fleetwood has 5 European Tour wins under his belt. Probably most notably is the French Open that he won, which might be comparable to the Players' Championship. Good looking, very marketable.
Is he good looking?
He's talking about the win.
Well, I'm saying just both guys are very marketable type guys.
Okay.
Is Tommy Fleetwood the European version of Rickie Fowler? KJ, what you got? Oh, no, T-Bone as the golf gossip guy. What you got there?
I'm going to give Rickie a little more credit than Fleetwood. He's been around a little longer.
That's because we got to see him come up through college.
Still, how long have you known about Tommy Fleetwood? I've known about him for like maybe 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. But
Rickie I've known about for...
If we were in Europe, don't you think we would have probably heard of him?
Yeah, but as Paul Azinger said, the PGA Tour is... So...
I think that's pretty comparable. I think pretty close.
My initial reaction was like,
Like, we got to be biased because, like, if it's, hey, go hang out with Rickie Fowler and play around or Tommy Fleetwood, I mean, I know who I'd pick. It's Big Dick Rick all day.
Yes.
For sure.
It also probably doesn't help with us every other commercial is Rickie.
Gosh, Lee. Was it? I saw something that, like, how many hours he records commercials. It's like, no wonder he hasn't won a major yet. He's recording all these commercials for Rocket Mortgage and for Quicken Loans
Travelers.
or
Being that
whoever the
fake
hell it
caddy,
was.
what was that for?
I think
Remember
that was Travelers.
Travelers? That was a good commercial.
What was the one that just came out where it's like, hey, guys, we're going to play through
Oh, yeah.
real quick, and it's like
Yeah.
the guy takes his time. Which one is that?
I don't know.
I don't know either, dude. It's
And
all.
then he does ads for TaylorMade golf balls when he's a huge Cobra and Puma guy. I get what you're saying.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he switched to the TaylorMade ball last year. He played the Pro V1 first, and
Yeah.
dude, Rickie, where's he been? He won Waste Management last year, but big goose egg. After 2014, he finished top 5 in every single major. He's had a couple good showings since, but really, as this, I don't know. I just don't know.
I'm actually going to go back. The Players is not a French Open.
Is the Players a bigger deal?
Hell yes. Not even close.
Okay.
I'm going to give Rick a little more of a leg up, even if I'm biased. And if I'm actually being unbiased, there's no way Fleetwood's in that many commercials in Europe. Not a shot in hell.
I guess really what
Maybe
I'm
from a
asking
golf perspective, yes.
That's what I'm asking. From a golf perspective, is Tommy Fleetwood more like Rickie Fowler?
I think it's pretty close.
I can't make an argument really against that. Both have the same amount of wins on their respective tours. Tommy Fleetwood has had a better showing in the Ryder Cup, but Rickie has won probably a bigger event in the Players' Championship. I don't know. Very interesting question. What do you think? Comment below. All right, T-Bone, there's another golf gossip that you wanted to bring up. What you got?
Yeah, this. I feel like our stories this year aren't picking up as much steam as last year. We had some good stuff last year.
It
But-
was like gifted to us from the gods, from the golf gods
That was
last year.
good.
Yes.
But continuing on golf gossip, DJ's officially out of the Olympics. So I think it's top 4 players per country.
Right.
And he's officially out. So probably would have been pretty close, if not already in or qualified for the Olympics. But it's funny, I guess, is this the second Golf Olympics?
Right.
So the first
Yes.
one was the Zika virus.
Yep. And, now
And
it's
no
the
one
Corona.
played, and now it's the Corona.
Is that why he backed out for his stated? Or was it more of a scheduling conflict that...
Actually, I think it was.
More of a
He was
scheduling
gonna
conflict?
He said he was going to focus on the FedEx Cup, but I was just thinking coronavirus. Well, hey, that's
We'll blame it on Corona, though.
yeah.
If I
It
were
could
him,
be.
why
I
wouldn't
don't
he?
know. I don't know.
Interesting. DJ's never won the FedEx Cup, right?
I don't
No,
think so.
Justin Thomas.
Do you think DJ really cares about the FedEx Cup, though?
It's Justin Thomas and Sungjae Im.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Look it up.
He's talking about has he ever won?
Has he ever won the
FedEx
FedEx Cup?
Oh, I thought you were talking about points right now.
No. I don't give a shit about points right now. Nobody
Yeah.
cares. And that's the thing, like, in the broadcast, they talk about the FedEx Cup so much, and, like, I don't give a shit. It's March. I'll probably start caring in July, right before the playoffs.
I'll care 2 weeks before
Yeah.
the final tournament.
Like, not even... People don't even really care in the first leg of the playoff. What is that, the Northern Trust?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the BMW people start caring because it's like, oh, will he make it to East Lake? What's interesting is leading up to the Northern Trust is the guys on that 125 cut line because it literally goes back and forth. And you know what? That is literally job security for those guys. So, yeah, that's a really big deal. But I don't care if Sungjae Im is in second or Justin Thomas is in first. Like, it's going to be a sliding door. I think Lonto Griffin is still in the top 5, and that's only because he won the Houston Open.
See ya, buddy.
Great. Like, he's got job security for the next couple of years because he won. All due respect to Lonto Griffin, I don't think he's going to make it to East Lake. I could be wrong. And Lonto, please prove me wrong because that would be great, I guess. But anyway.
Who was the other guy that proved us wrong who almost won the U.S. Open?
The glove?
No.
Oh.
The Asian guy who won Byron Nelson and then almost won the U.S. Open.
Sung Kang?
Yep, Sung Kang.
Sung Kang. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I think Tiva said something like, there's no way in hell that Sung Kang is going to win the PGA Championship at Bethpage. And he finished like top 5.
Yeah.
top
I want
10,
to say
whatever
I
it was.
said I would do something like ridiculous if he won the U.S. Open, but
Yeah.
Did we ever
PGA.
get our payment or our wager from
I don't think
No.
so.
beating
The
his,
over-under?
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
What you got on that, T-Bone? Any ideas, KJ?
No, not really.
We'll
Just
discuss.
like a sleeve of balls.
We haven't been together in a while. You've been kind of
Yeah.
so. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We don't want to be too mean. We all need to play golf together soon, though.
One round of golf, he has to drink as much as you and I combined.
That sounds scary.
Hey, we got to do the draft for the Austin weekend festivities.
I still don't know anybody going on this trip, so I might as well just
Exactly.
throw darts at a dartboard blindly.
I can give you like a golf skill level of everybody's going to be there.
Are you going to be the other guy picking?
Yeah.
So
and
you're
us.
not going to be truthful at all. I can tell exactly what's going to happen.
Maybe.
I'm going to get up with half a team, and they're going to be like, I don't know if I'm right-handed or left-handed.
You want to give some
Thanks,
background
Scott.
on this?
To the audience?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so my bachelor party is coming up in a few weeks, end of the month. We're going to the Dell Match Play, and we're going to go play golf on Friday. So I'm thinking, because it's the amount of people that are going, we're going to probably have 3 foursomes.
The course has been locked down, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, course has been locked down. T-Bone has been helping out.
What course we
My best
playing?
man on that. Shout out to Garza, friend of the
Best
pod.
man on. Okay.
Yeah, Garza's
That's
best
news to
man.
me. Okay, good.
Yeah, he's a friend of the pod. He's been on the show before.
Yep.
He actually kind of low-key booked him for our Masters pool next, or whenever we do our Masters preview. He'll come in. We'll break
Nice.
down the odds
What course are we playing?
Falcon Head.
in Austin.
Okay. All right.
Never been there, but you were there not too long ago. Said it was a good time, right?
Yeah. Good course.
Phenomenal. It's going to be about 12 guys. So I was thinking we do like a draft, all 3 of us, and then have like a match that we do. I don't know what we're going to play for or anything like that, but we can figure that out later. But a lot of these guys went to Baylor with me and Scaff. So KJ has no idea who these guys are. And
I'm sure you'll give me all of
so
the
that's
truthful
why.
details.
So I was thinking of us doing a draft of all 4.
And I
Or
get first
because-
pick.
Well, that's the thing. I think KJ should get first pick because he doesn't know any
are
of
you
the
gonna
guys.
are you gonna give me any shit on these guys or no? Because if you don't, I should get the first 2 if I'm blind picking.
I mean, based on the guys that are going, you can just probably tell based off of the clubs that they bring.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think we do the draft like on the podcast, and then we show up, and the team's already decided.
This sounds fucking
Okay.
terrible.
Oh, that'll be good.
I like T-Bone's idea where I at least get to look at the guys in their clubs.
I think a few guys might show up without clubs. I don't think they own a set of clubs.
I really hope I don't pick them.
Or okay, so you'd rather wait till we get out there as opposed to like do it live
Yeah.
on the pod?
I mean, we
Let's
get out
think
there
about it.
Friday.
That
I'll
can be
try to
fun.
get out there
What?
early.
Preset teams could be fun.
That's what I'm saying.
let's think about
Preset
it.
teams. Okay, I will give you an honest assessment of everybody's golf game in advance.
Is everybody getting there Thursday night?
Most probably Friday morning.
Okay. Let's all get there. Let's have lunch or something. Have some drinks.
It's
and
a
then
1
we just
o'clock
pick.
tea time.
Okay.
We're gonna have a lot of drinks.
Yeah, brunch. Have a few drinks. No clubs, just everybody at the table, and then we'll pick from there. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, maybe. All right, that's all I got. Is there anything else that y'all want to add for this week in golf? Bay Hill next week. T-Bone, looks like something on your mind, man.
I did have a golf marathon this Saturday, which I don't normally do. And
how was that? Tell us about it.
it was good. I played tipped out Cypress Wood Traditions, which is pretty long,
It's like 76, isn't it?
72. Then
Really?
I played
I thought it was way longer than that.
Golf Club of Houston, tipped out, 2 club wind.
Holy shit. Did you break 100?
Yeah, shot 84. I played
What?
36 holes.
Okay, wait. Tell us what you shot last week. I don't think
90.
KJ was.
Yep.
He shot 90 last week
Where?
at Houston National.
Wow.
My nines, so I played 36 holes. My nines were 42, 42, 42, 42.
Coming from
That's
Mr.
steady.
Consistency over
Steady.
here. What?
Nice.
Maybe he's getting it back. It's all that shit we've been talking about, how he shoots between 71 and 90.
Yeah.
Watch
For you,
out.
T-Bone.
Thank you. Watch
Ready.
out.
Maybe we shouldn't let
Did you
him pick
practice
first.
this week?
No.
Because you were pretty
no.
upset last week when you
Yeah.
came in. You're just like, I'm so motivated to go play golf. Like, he's like, I shot fucking 90.
It's over my range.
That's true, because he's a 71 to 89.
Yep.
It's expanding.
Mm-hmm.
It's expanding.
Lower and higher.
Lower and
Oh,
higher.
goodness.
Man. Well, okay. Well, did you have fun?
Yeah, it was fun.
Good time?
It's great.
Yeah. I was up in College Station playing. Top Golf on Saturday, potentially? Is that
Can't go.
happening?
Can't go.
Game time decision?
Eh.
Wait, you can't go?
No, I got a junior playing lesson this morning.
I thought you weren't teaching lessons anymore.
I'm not. It's for enjoyment.
Okay.
I can't
I'm
say
just-
I'm accepting monies and I can't play any tournaments.
Oh, that's a good point. Not accepting any money. Helping out a friend.
That's right.
Yes. All right, it's helping out a friend. Next week is Bay Hill. Notably, he's not playing in it. Mr. Tiger Woods. He's not playing in Bay Hill. Which he has won that thing 8 times?
It's his place, man.
Is it 8 or it's either 7 or 8? I want to say 8. I could be wrong. Somebody fact check me on that. But Mr. Tiger Woods, it's always good homage to Mr. Arnold Palmer, who's no longer with us. R.I.P. All-time logo. Love that logo. I just hope it's a fun event. I don't know too much about Bay Hill, the actual golf course, but it always produces a pretty good champion. Last year, Francesco Molinari won when he made that bomb on 18, if y'all remember that. Was that last year?
That's kind of the most iconic thing is Tiger making bombs almost every year that he won. He made a phenomenal putt on 18 that he needed to make.
Yep. Especially over Phil Mickelson,
Yep.
somebody like that. It's phenomenal. Great times. So Bay Hill next week. Players is 2 weeks from now. I will not be going this year. Very sad. But last time I went, I slept in a Denny's.
Nice. Nice. I remember talking about
true
that.
story.
That's awesome.
That's a true story. I want to go back and listen to our Players episode from last year. I dove deep into it. So we're not sleeping out of Denny's this time, which is a beautiful thing. Still can't believe we did that. March last year was just a rough month. Between that and the Denver trip.
Good
All right,
stuff.
this is getting off the rails. That's all I got. Follow us on social media at 300 Par Pod. Twitter and Instagram. DMs are open. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let us know. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for sticking with us. Bogey Brothers interview last week was awesome. Give that video a like. Give this video a like. Comment below on what your thoughts were on the Honda Classic. What did Paul Azinger do? What were your thoughts on the Paul Azinger comments? Did you take offense to it, or do you care really? Or does Paul Azinger have a point? Because low-key, I think he has a point. I even tweeted that out. I was like, Tommy Fleetwood kind of proved Azinger's point on that shot on 18, that he has. Bottom line, it's tough to win on the PGA Tour. And objectively, I think the talent level is better on the PGA Tour than it is on the European Tour. But the top guys on the European Tour are just as good as the top guys on the PGA Tour. So it's still hard to win on both tours, but who knows? Tommy Fleetwood, my pick for the PGA Championship. Subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. If you're going to write a review, write it on Apple Podcasts. That way we know we see it. Next week also, fellas, we got a guest that is going to be calling in.
Who's that?
I'm going to tease this guest. It's a clothing line apparel.
Oh yeah.
The clothing line
nice.
apparel. I'm just going to tease right now.
I don't know how we pulled this one off, but I'm proud of us.
Just teasing because nothing's set in stone until the audio is recorded. But they're set to come on next week. The tease is the shirt I'm wearing right now, actually. We're going to get out of here. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate you. Subscribe, rate, review, drill. You know the drill. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. And remember,
Little white ball's life. Gotta shut that shit off.